if you get your patients from PPO plans, I really believe you're using an antiquated strategy. There's a better place to get patients rather than from the PPO plan. The better place to get patients today is from Google. Where do people go to get information today?
Google.
They Google it.
Exactly.
So if you're relying on the plans to provide you patient, that's a sinking ship. That ship is going down. All the data suggests that.
Even the ones who are on
pivot.
plans, they're not going to the plans to find, choose a dentist. They're still going to Google.
Well, it used to be, Naren, that when a company hired a new employee, they provide them with an employee benefits booklet, a physical product.
Right.
And part of that booklet was a list of provider dentists that were part of their PPO plan. Today, they don't provide that book anymore. They simply provide a directory, electronic directory, and there'll be some instructions that say, hey, if you want to find a dentist that's a network, go to this directory. Well, most people don't do that. Instead, they go to Google and they start looking for certain qualities in a dentist. So I actually think the combination of fewer people having the benefits of dental insurance today, combined with a population that's ever more interested in their health, plays in our favor. There's another factor that goes into this, Naren, and that is we have an aging population where people are living much longer. And as a result of living longer, there's a longer period of time where people will be in their retirement years.
Yes.
And for most people that are retired, guess what? Most of those people don't have
dental insurance.
They don't have dental insurance. I believe it was my father's generation that was really the last generation. If I think back to, and my father was born in 1931. My late father was born in 1931. And it was really that generation that were provided lifetime benefits. And it turned out to be too expensive to provide lifetime benefits. So companies had to pivot and change. And now when someone retires, they have what's called COBRA, C-O-B-R-A as an acronym. And that means they'll get a period of benefits for a very short period of time, dental benefits. But after that, they have to purchase it on their own. And most people don't, because it doesn't make sense for an individual to purchase dental insurance benefits. So when you combine all these facts together, people are more interested in their health than ever. People are living longer. And, it's been estimated, in past generations, Naren, the amount of time, if you look at the lifetime that someone would spend in their retirement years, it might have been at most 10% of their life, was spent in retirement years. And today it's not unusual for that to represent a third of someone's life. And that number is growing. So a third of their life, they're in their retirement years. And these people want to live long, healthy, active lives. They want to keep their teeth. They want to have great oral health. And yet that period of time is typically not covered by dental insurance. So one of the ways that you can take advantage of this as a listener is create an in-office membership plan. If you've been listening to this podcast, you've heard me talk about in-office membership plans. But an in-office membership plan is a way to roll out the red carpet to people in your community who don't have dental insurance, which is a growing universe of people. Now, I've been rolling more statistics on as we've been talking. Let me roll one more on. Naren, there was a time not so long ago where virtually everyone worked within an organized job culture. They worked for a company and they had a traditional job that was traditionally, if they were working full time, was 40 hours a week. However, today, there's a whole universe of people that are taking advantage of the gig economy, economy, and they are gig economy workers. Naren, you're a nerd. Give a definition of a gig economy worker.
Yeah, gig economy worker is somebody who can open an app, whatever that app is, Uber, for example, press a button saying, I'm ready to work, and then Uber sends them gigs. Hey, here's a ride here, here is a delivery there. And it matches kind of where they're located and what's going to make them the most money. And
so those could be Uber drivers, they could be Lyft drivers, they could be people that own a rental property through Airbnb, through VRBO. But there's also a lot of independent contractors that I think of as
Yeah.
gig economy workers.
Exactly. Even eBay sellers, Amazon sellers,
Etsy shop owners.
Etsy shop owners, even like people like, I know, like when we do, I can't remember the name of the site, but when we need some, handyman or somebody to do our gardening, we go to this app and we say, hey, we need something, and somebody shows up and they do it, and we pay them, and we don't even pay them because the app pays them. So it's perfect.
Yeah. And those people are outside of the normal structure of employment.
Exactly.
They don't get benefits. They aren't
Yes.
provided benefits. They provide for themselves. And, COVID.
And this is a permanent trend, I think. This
Yeah.
idea of like, people having these gigs and doing different things, it's only growing. I mean, if you look at
COVID accelerated that, Aaron.
Yes.
And COVID accelerated that because people now realize they could work anywhere, they could live anywhere they wanted, and they could
Right.
create employment opportunities from them from wherever they were, based on the resources and knowledge and skills that they had. And a lot of people are gravitating towards that lifestyle because it enhances their work-life balance.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
they don't
seeing
have
that
office
more and
hours,
more
right?
again.
Today I want to work at 11 a.m. I don't need to explain why I'm only starting at 11. Tomorrow I don't want to work. I don't need to turn on the app. So
There's even hygienists. This has been affecting the dental profession. There's a growing number of hygienists today that work rather than working for a placement agency. They use an app, and they wake up in the morning and decide whether they want to work or not. And they can respond, and they can get assignments, and they can literally make that decision. And there are hygienists that appreciate that flexibility of deciding whether they want to work or not. And that's another variation of this trend.
Right.
But really, the takeaway for you is to realize that if you're thinking old school, if you're thinking that, well, the way to get patients is to be a participating provider in a plan where the insurance company provides me with patients. In my opinion, Naren, that's like riding a horse to work. Riding a horse to work. Now, one of my daughters is a horsey girl, and she has two wonderful horses, and I appreciate horses, but I'm not going to ride the horse to work.
Are you sure?
I
can visualize myself.
Yeah,
you on a horse.
I do enjoy riding horses, and I do enjoy horses. But if we look at transportation, that's not the way to make things work today. And I would say the same thing. If you are, counting on the insurance company to send you patients, and then as a result of that, you're paying a massive tax, 45 to 50% of your usual fee. I want you to think of that adjustment, the difference between your usual fee and your contracted fee. I want you to think of that as a marketing expense. You're paying 45 to 50% of all the revenue that comes in from that patient as a marketing expense. There's much more effective ways to work, especially if you start thinking about the trends. If you start thinking about the fact that retirees don't have insurance, if you start thinking about the fact that people are more interested in their health, if we know that people are more interested in their health and they're seeking out offices that can help them keep their own natural teeth all their life and enjoy a healthy, attractive smile for their lifetime, then we can build a website that talks about how we can help people achieve those goals. And we can attract people that way. And I wanted to share this information with you because I think it can make a big difference about how you think about marketing and how you think about how do you attract the kind of patients that you really want in your practice. The truth is you can get good patients from PPO plans. That's absolutely true. You can, whether it be Delta, United Concordia, United Healthcare, Aetna, Travelers, MetLife. But many of those patients arrive with baggage.
Yes.
And the baggage they arrive with is an insurance mindset that they only want to have this dental service done if it's covered by their insurance. Another way to say that a bit more cynically is they only want to have it done if it's free. And if they only want to have it done because it's free, is that really your best patient?
No.
Is that the patient that really appreciates what you can do for them? I would politely suggest no. And I would suggest there's other ways of attracting people that seek out what it is that make your office such a great place for them to visit. One thing I know about our listeners of the Thriving Dentist Show is we have an exceptional group of listeners. I like to think that all of our listeners are providing an abundance of reasons for people to choose them as their dental providers. And as a result, they're attracting more of their ideal patients. Well, I hope I've given you some things to think about in this episode. As I mentioned, there is new data that suggests that the number of people with dental insurance is declining. I believe that decline is going to come, a runaway snowball rolling downhill, and we're going to see more and more of that. So rather than being dependent on the insurance companies sending you patients, let's be proactive about it and attract patients other ways. Attract them using a membership plan. Attract them by talking about the very cool reasons why they should be a patient in your practice. Attract them by using Google as a source of new patients rather than Delta as a source of new patients.